Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. So it's that time of week again. It's the new year and it's the first live of the new year. We've not been live for a couple of weeks. What the live before New Year's, one was Christmas and then the other one was New Year's Day. So we didn't go live, but this is the first live and we're back. We're back with a bang. We're going to say hello to everyone and see who's joining us and hello with us. Hope you're all keeping well. Hope everyone's doing good. Hope life's treating you all well and the new year's been good for you. Pam, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. I hope you're keeping well. I hope everything's good with you. So, how's everyone's gardening year gone so far? Have you got your onions planted? Have you got your chilies planted? There's loads of things you can be planting right now. So, what have you got planted, or what are you planning this year? So, Dean's lost the plot has come in. Dean, how are you doing, mate? Thank you very much for coming in. How are you doing, and how are you coping with the kids being ill? Nomming on some of your chili achar with pasta. Oh, that's what I like to hear. I'm really glad you're enjoying it. The achars have gone down a real treat. They've gone down real nice with a lot of people. A lot of people have really enjoyed it. They've really blown our mind the way they've gone off. Hopefully we'll have the website up. I mean, the web developer promises any minute, and yeah, any minute the e-commerce site will be up, and once that's up, then we can just take orders via the website instead of via messages. So that'll be a good development when that happens. Keeping away from them. My brother-in-law said you're his new best friend after I gave him a. Oh, that's beautiful. That's awesome. I'm glad he's enjoying them. I really am. I'm really glad he's enjoying them. Kids are fine. Please report how's the bairn with her foot. Oh, she's fine. She's absolutely fine. She's loving all the attention that she's getting for having her broken toe. So she's got this massive boot on at the minute. And yeah, she's got this massive boot on at the minute. So she just I mean, the first thing that she was saying was, "Oh, when we get to school, all the kids with any broken arms or broken legs, they get the special attention." So she was really looking forward to that. So yeah, I think she's fine. She's a bit disappointed that she's not going to get to go to football tomorrow, and she's not going to get to go to football for the doctor said for the next 6 weeks. So that's the one thing that's disappointing. And apart from that, she's fine. Leslie, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. I hope you're keeping well. Pure Pondering, Bombs to Bushel Homestead, how are you doing? Thanks very much for coming in. No plot this year. May throw a small token raised bed this spring. No idea what I'll put in it. Have you moved or something? How come you've got no plot this year? Ashley's allotment diary. Ashley, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Tamiki's sources, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. So as you're coming in, guys, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like, that'd be really appreciated. So yeah, I mean, I managed to get a few hours in the garden today. Freezing rain. We had a bit of sleet. We had a bit of rain. It was really soggy out there, but after a week of being stuck in an office, it just really does me good just to get outside and get messing with that dirt and get my hands in that dirt and just start fiddling stuff. I dug a trench. I'm putting a video out on Patreon onto why I'm digging this trench and what I'm doing with it and what the aim of it is. So hopefully that'll be, well, it's filmed, it'll be edited, and it'll be online very shortly. I did another video about so just a garden tour, general how the garden's looking at the moment, and then we'll be able to. I like to do a video at the start of January to see what the full garden's looking like and what the state of the garden is, and then I can set myself tasks, and it'll be nice to watch it develop over the year. So who else was coming? It's warmer here today. I just had fixed a broken water line in the chicken yard. How cold is it over there at the moment? Bobby, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. A bit of sleet in Bournemouth today. See, we had sleet, we had rain, we had just cold and miserable, but I was glad to be outside. Yeah, we just sold our house currently in a place that's not very conducive to gardening. See, what I want to do this year, I mean, it's what I wanted to do last year. I was hoping to get it done last year, was do a container garden. So most of our lives we didn't have a garden. I mean, this is the first house that we've had that's had a garden, and we've been able to grow stuff in. But before that, we lived in a terraced house with a small yard. It was probably a couple of meters long, a couple of meters wide, and just in that small yard, we had raised beds and a bathtub bed and stuff like that, and we were growing stuff in them. So I was hoping to replicate that. I've got a concrete patch just near my shed, and I was hoping to replicate that, so people with limited space on concrete, with very small yard space, will be able to get some inspiration from that, and just show them that there's loads of stuff you can still grow even in a small amount of space. So I'm closing in on a return myself, be down garden this week for a few days. Lots to tidy, preparation, and fixing the onion house. You've got an awesome onion house. Do you know? I can't remember if I was talking to you about it the last time I was down. But do you know how you've got white rot in your onion house? Could you switch one of your tomato houses to your onion house, and then grow your tomatoes in the shed with the white rot, and grow your onions in one of the other sheds that doesn't have the white rot? Would that be something you could do? I need to start working on making a grow setup like you showed the other day. See, we've been using that little setup for the last few years. So ever since I started using grow lights, I'm quite new to using grow lights. I'm by no means an expert. Dean's much more knowledgeable on grow lights than I am. And I only started using grow lights a couple of years ago. And I was thinking of where to use it and where to set it up. Because outside, the kind of plants that I want to grow with grow lights are chilies, aubergines, tomatoes, things that really need a bit of warmth. And if I set that up outside, I just wouldn't be able to give it that protection, that warmth in the early stages to get them through. So we're looking around inside. We've got no cupboards under the stairs. We've got nowhere like an airing cupboard or anything like that. But I had this genius idea of just saying, right, my wife's shoe cupboard, just hijack that. It means she's not happy with me for the next few months while the shoes are all over the place and stuff's all over the place and things are a bit messy. But at least I get my plants growing. Kasim Mahmoud, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. Tani had snow at his work around the back of ours. We actually got nothing here. See, we've had snow a couple of times this week. Nothing's settled, but we've had snow a couple of times. The other day I was taking the kids to school, and it was really, snow was coming down really heavy, and I had the wipers on. And my little boy, the youngest one, he was screaming, he was crying. Oh, Dad, why you put the wipers on? You're wasting all the snow. You're wasting the snow. And it was cute and funny at the same time. But I need to see out the window. I need to be able to see while I'm driving. I'm swapping the onions for the leek this year. Okay. I'm with you. When would be a good time to start onions and shallots from seed? I don't have grow lights. Graham, start them right now. You can start onions a normal eating type. I mean, if you're growing giants or something like that, that's a different story. Just a normal eating type. Get them started right now. I was meant to sow some today, but hopefully tomorrow, if I get outside, I better get outside tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to sow loads of onions tomorrow. I'm going to probably sow all my onions tomorrow in one day. We've got most of our garlic in. I've got a few garlic bulbs left. I just need to find some space. I've got no space for it, so I've got to figure out where I'm going to put that. But get your onions sown straight away. I'm gonna have some onions for you in the next few months that I will bring down for you if you're interested in. Oh, yes, mate. Oh yes, 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 yes. Definitely, Dean. Definitely. You know, I'm gonna use my excuse. Mr. Ratty took my onions, but yeah, definitely that'll be absolutely fantastic. Heaviest tomato, heaviest cucumber, heaviest sweet, heaviest radish, heaviest kohlrabi. I definitely want to go heaviest kohlrabi. Maybe a heaviest beetroot and a heaviest tomato. Them ones are definite. I mean, we grew some things like Marmande and what was the other variety? Gigantimo. Just from normal shop bought seeds, we got half a kilo onions quite comfortably last year. So yeah, definitely, yeah. I'm in for that, mate. So Dean's running a competition on Facebook on is I think it's Dean. Is it? Tell us about it. Is it a virtual competition that you're running, or tell us a little bit about it, and we'll try and get some more people involved as well. So if anyone's interested in growing show vegetables and giant vegetables, Dean's your man, and he's running a competition. So that'll be really interesting and fun to take part of. So I set my grow light up for my chilies in my pet shed on top of the rabbit hutches. So you'll get plenty of residual heat from the rabbits. You've got built-in heaters from heaters from the rabbits. Because like I was looking at a chicken, using chickens to heat my greenhouse. Because a chicken can put out about 8 BTUs of heat per hour. That's quite good for a chicken. So if I had a massive greenhouse and I had enough space, maybe a polytunnel, and I had enough space to put like a chicken run underneath and then grow on top of them, have like grow beds on top of there, then that'd work, I think, quite well. But I don't have that set up, so I can't do it. I have a pantry cabinet. I'm going to clear some shelves on the grow setup. I'm a bad influence on people now. I'm going to get people in trouble at home. Wendy, that's a good idea. Yeah, it's a really good idea. I think the animals will keep it really nice and warm for you. Not doing onions, but getting the cob nuts and lavender in tomorrow, and getting some hardwood cuttings in. I saw your picture of cob nuts. Do you know what's the difference between a cob nut and a hazelnut? A with the £2 super chat. Thank you very much for that. Really appreciate it. Thanks for always being there for beginner gardeners. You're absolutely welcome. I mean, I could talk about all day long. If someone just sat me down and just wanted to have a cup of tea and a chat, I could do that all day long. And so definitely, you're very welcome indeed. I can't be bothered to get in the garden. Any advice? What's stopping you from getting in the garden? See, it's been really miserable at the moment, right? Really miserable, really damp, really cold, and it's that moving from getting out from the house and getting into the garden sometimes is the biggest hurdle. So, like today, I prayed my Asr really early. So as soon as Asr came in, I prayed my Asr and then got my muddy clothes on, and I was outside. And once I got outside, the first 15 minutes or so was just me plodding about and stuff. But once I got in, I was like, right, okay, I want to do this, and just started getting into the dirt and getting my hands dirty. And it becomes, you don't feel the cold as much once you start moving. So first things first is, what have you got urgent to do, or what have you got little jobs to do? Find some little jobs for you to do that you quite like doing. Sow some seeds. If you can sow, or even if you can't get all the way outside, sow some seeds inside first. So get your chilies sowed, get some onions sown on a windowsill, get some broad beans sown on a windowsill, get some spinach sown inside, chard, lettuce, get all those sorts of things sowed inside, and then when you get that little bit of a mojo back, then get outside and get them planted out as well. So I hope that's a bit of an answer for you, and I hope that gives you a bit of motivation. So it's not virtual; it'll be held at CM Community Hall. It's a 10-section show. Prizes first to fifth place, £50 to £10 per section. So it's a real show that Dean set up. Absolutely fantastic, great effort, real great work. He's done a lot of hard work. So if people are in around CM Community Hall, what town's that in, Dean? So if people are around there, do you want to enter and get your stuff in? Can you show onions outside now? Can you sow onions out now? Didn't realize that. Does it have to be onion sets, or would seeds be okay? See, onion sets, the ground's a little bit hard in some places to get them in, but if you can get your onion sets in without with the ground being a little, depending on your ground, if you get your onion sets in, it's fine to get them in now, February all the way to March. Later on, probably February is a little bit easier sometimes. But onion seeds, get them sown. If you've got a greenhouse or on a windowsill, get them sown in a tray. I like those mushroom trays quite a bit. Do you know those quite? You can get like half a kilo or 1 kilo mushrooms. So those trays that you get for them, they're perfect. They're the perfect depth for onions. Just make little drills in there and sow them in there, and sow them quite thick. And then when you plant them like 4 or 5 onions in a clump. And then when you pick them, just pick a few off of spring onions, leave 2 or 3 to mature together. You won't get massive onions, but you'll end up with more onions per ground space. And that's pretty much what I aim for. I'm on top chat, not normal chat, so I don't know. So if I've missed anyone's comments, I do apologize for that. Hey, Nick's Allotment Diaries here. Nick, how are you doing, mate? Thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. And if I haven't said hello to anyone, I do apologise. Cobnut is native to the UK. It's become really rare as it went out of fashion in Edwardian times. It's no longer actually. It's longer and actually a lot nicer. Not as dry as a hazelnut. A lot more flavour than a hazelnut. Okay. Do you know, is the wood the same? Because I wanted some with the garden, you know, because of the whips that you can get, the hazel whips, and you can use them for quite a lot of stuff. So I did fancy some of that. Is the wood, is it good coppice, and will it produce lots of little wood, hazel poles and stuff like that? Can you use it for that sort of thing? I love the cardigan. By the way, that colour is proper stylish. See, do you know what? I don't like this cardigan. My sister bought it me for my birthday a few years ago, and do you know how the V-neck? Do you know, like V-necks? I don't like V-necks because it leaves the top part of your chest open, and then you get cold in getting in from that side, so you have to wear a scarf or something as well. So I don't like this cardigan, and it's got buttons as well, and not a zip. I like zipped up cardigans that go all the way to my neck. Nick, how are you doing? I hope everything's good with you. How's your family, and how's everyone at home? Because it's been a while since I've spoken to you. The town is near Sunderland. Okay, so the town is Seaham near Sunderland. So if anyone is close by to that area, then there's a nice competition that Dean set up for you to get involved in. You can go up and join in. So I'm getting there. I must be getting old. Used to be out clubbing on a Saturday night. Now I'm watching gardening channels. Graham, I got old. I got old before I got even young. You know. You know, I feel like an old man at times, but no, gardening. The thing is, gardening. appeals across all sorts of age ranges. It's absolutely beautiful. One of the things that I love about gardening is you can get kids involved and they really get their hands dirty. Some lose it around the teenage years, but then they get back into it in their 20s. So yeah, I think there's a big appeal for a lot of people in it. It's a nice cardigan. Yeah. See, old man Monty with his button cardigan. See, I like my zips. I don't like buttons, and I like my cardigans to go all the way to the top, and then that way I don't get any air going down there and end up because you'll end up with a cold, if that happens. Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah. How are you doing, Pound for Pound TV? Thanks very much for coming in. Sean Darts. How are you doing, mate? Thank you very much for coming in. Sean, how are you doing? Thanks very much for coming in. Hope you're all keeping well. Guys, if you don't mind hitting that like for me as you're coming in, that'd be really good. We've got 27 people, 18 likes. Let's get that like count up a little bit. Best men. I got old before I was a teenager. I know that. See, that's the feeling that I've got. I can hear the kids coming. See, the last live that we did before the Christmas holidays, or the Christmas period, the kids just completely took over, and they just completely went berserk on the live stream, and yeah, a few people didn't like that, but what can we do? I mean, the lives happen in my, the lives happen in my house. We've got very little. I don't have an office. I'm sat on my bed while I'm doing this live stream. As you can probably see behind me, I don't have a studio or anything like that. So when the kids come in, then they take over. I mean, I'm taking time away from them to do this. So have you tried watermelon? I'm growing them this year. Also, you're growing aubergines. See, Sean, watermelon. I tried I tried them twice now. So not a couple of years ago, I tried them. I got a plant that was quite big, and it produced a small, tiny little melon, probably about that size. Last year, I grew them, and it didn't. The plant was quite weak, and I don't know. I can't remember if it died or if I killed it. If I took it out of the ground, but it was just a really weak plant, so I didn't go ahead with it. But aubergines, we grow loads of aubergines. So aubergines are in my greenhouse with my chilies, and they grow really well. But they need a greenhouse. They need somewhere protected, somewhere warm that you can keep them. And it's a good time to start aubergines now. They do need a long growing season. Steve, how are you doing, mate? Thank you very much for coming in. So, Steve, hope all is well. I know you're taking a little break on YouTube at the moment. Hope everything sorts itself out and you're back to making videos and back to growing again soon. So Smoker managed to grow a small watermelon last year. Anyone else grown watermelons before? I also got 2 butternut squash. We got loads of butternut squash last year. Yeah, we got a nice little nest of butternut squash in one plant. I found a couple of butternut squash I was clearing up some dead plants and late on in December, and I pulled one of the plants back, and 2 butternut squash fell out of the hedge. It's a nice little surprise. What's the opinions of cucamelons? Just a novelty or as a productive as cucumbers? I've never grown cucamelons before. I know they came in a fashion quite a bit. They were quite popular. I've never grown them. They've been on my list for the last couple of years to grow, but I've never grown them myself, so I don't know what they taste like. I'm going to try cucamelons this year. Have you ever tried? I've never tried them. Heather Foley, how are you doing? Hope you're keeping well. I had 4 eggplants last year, and only two eggplants. See, I had. Do you know the ones that are more productive, that are easier to grow? the long purple types, so the long thin ones, and the dwarf type aubergine. So rather than trying to grow a 12-inch aubergine, grow, the ones that grow to about 3-4 inches long. They're the ones that are much easier. So Lista de Gandhi is quite good. It's quite easy to grow. Black Beauty is a good variety to grow as well. Yeah, Black Beauty and Moneymaker aubergines are my go-to, and Long Purple as well. They're the ones that I really like growing, because they're varieties that I've always had quite good results from. Try the smaller varieties and try the thin, long varieties. They normally do better. I've got a couple of aubergine varieties to sow this year. I'll sow them 3-4 weeks in here, propagator in some plugs. What varieties have you got, Sean? CW, how are you doing, mate? Thank you very much for coming in. I hope you're keeping well. The man with the thumbs up, glad to see you. I was thinking about trying cucamelons too. I've seen a lot of videos saying they're good. See, they're not. Don't expect them to be sweet. From the reviews that I've heard, they're not like a fruit that you just pick up and eat and enjoy. They are a bit watery. They are a little bit sweet, but some people like them. Others don't. I've never tried one. I might try watermelon this year. I live in Tennessee, USA, so it's plenty warm. The trick is giving them enough water. Where you are, do you get enough rainfall for them, or would you have to put loads of drip irrigation and loads of water yourself? I'm only growing aubergines, watermelons, and butternut squash this year. Try some chilies. Do you know if you've never grown chilies before, try some chilies. They're one of those plants that get really addictive. I think I grew about 100 chili plants last year altogether. Yeah, close to about 100 chili plants last year. Yeah, we've got load. I've already got about 20 varieties sown already. Quite a lot of them have germinated, and they're starting, maybe looking like they're going to put on the true leaves anytime now. But chilies are one that just really gets addictive. Yeah. I might try water. I found 2 tiny butternut squash in December, but they were tiny. See, I found 2 tiny, two good-sized butternut squash. They just fell out the hedge when I pulled the plant. Currently in Blackpool at the weekend. Is that where you're at now? And are you getting some more time with your boy? Because I've seen some nice pictures of you and him spending some time together. Funnily enough, the 2 varieties I've got, a long and thin variety and a dwarf. Okay, there you go. There you go. So you're onto a winner already, Sean. Which ones I ordered? 2 varieties from Baker Creek. I think they're smaller size. Heather, I couldn't tell you varieties off because some of the names of the American varieties are quite different to the ones that we've got over in the UK. I've got Jewel Marble F1, which is a dwarf variety, which is a graffiti color type. So yeah, they're normally white with purple stripes on them, or the purple with white stripes on them. But yeah, they are a good variety. What your top variety tomato types? I've sown Sun Gold because it did really well for me last year. Hope the pickle business is going okay. My go-to tomatoes. So Sun Gold is one on my list for this year because I've never grown them before, but I tasted them up at Dean's last year and they were absolutely delicious. So he had a Sun Gold Yellow. They're absolutely beautiful. Sweet Million is slightly bigger than a cherry tomato, but it's so productive. It puts out the frond for tomatoes, and then on top of that, it put out another stalk, and you'll get like 2 or 3 stalks growing off one stalk that puts out loads of tomatoes. I had one Sweet Million tomato plant that I had something like 12 or 13 trusses off it. another one that I have in my greenhouse. So I also like growing, just an ordinary supermarket tomato as well. I'll take seeds out of that, and and grow some of the seeds from there, and they always do quite well. So Sweet Millionaire, one that I grow every year without fail because they just do really well. Sun Gold is one that I'm going to try because they're so nice. They really are really tasty, but I haven't grown them before. What was the other one? Other varieties that I'm growing this year are Marmande again. Marmande did quite well. They weren't really productive, but per plant they gave a nice big fleshy tomato. So if you're going to cook something like spaghetti bolognese or cook a lasagna or something, they're really good for that. San Marzano are a really nice plum tomato. I'm definitely growing them again. They've done really well for me. But just some seeds from a tomato from the supermarket and grow the seeds from that. You pretty much get the same tomato over again, and they'll do really well. They're bred to produce really well. I had one of them, and that's been my most productive plant over the last couple of years. On some plants, I'm the ones that I'm growing in the greenhouse. I'm having to grow up to the top of the greenhouse and then bend it over and then grow it across the greenhouse. So I grow it like a grapevine, and it does really well. Let's see where we are. CW said happy new year to you and the fam. With being a new driver, been busy with work. You keep him busy with work though. That's good to hear that it works good. Are you getting any time down at the plot? I'm a chili kind of gardener too. I grew tons. I'm able to grow yeah. See, Heather, I love naga and the different types of naga. I think I've got 5 different types of naga this year, and the boot jolokia as well. They do really well as well. My chilies were built last season. I got a few plants that I overwintered. See, I'm trying to keep some of the plants alive in the greenhouse. I think I'll struggle with those ones, but I've taken some into the house and they'll do well. We're predicted to have lows in the 20s every 2 weeks or so until the beginning of March. So I'll have another week or 2 before I need to start sowing seeds. Do you think Wilco seeds are good on Mr. Fothergill's? I think Mr. Fothergill's are just way too expensive. And I buy seeds a lot from Premier Seeds Direct on eBay. They give you a good amount of seeds. Normally the seed packets are about a pound, they're less than £1.50. They give you a good amount of seeds as well. So Premier Seeds Direct, CK Horticulture is another good one, and they've got a good variety of. I'd pick them over any of the seed catalogue, Thompson's or any of those types of seed companies any day of the week. I've used them ever since I started gardening, and they've always done well for me. So try that. But Wilco seeds, I've bought loads of Wilco seeds in the past as well, and they do well. So unless there's a specific variety that's not found in anyone else, then I wouldn't go for the branded packets. Just save your pocket. Susie, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. We had 6 kind of chili jam at Christmas. I only use Wilco. Most have done well. Black cherry, and I grow Amana orange and Cherokee purple. Ian Naylor, how are you doing, mate? Thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. We're only growing determinate tomatoes this year because they're easier to move. Are you planning on moving this year, or is it moving from one place to another? We grow sungolds too in the. You see, I had sungold up at Dean's, and definitely they're on my list for this year because really they were really nice. Do you know, I was in his greenhouse, right, and his mum had sent him to pick tomatoes. So his mum told him to fetch some tomatoes back, and I said, all right, I'll give you a hand. And he goes, oh, try one. So I tried one, and I'm like, okay, I'll help you pick them. And put one in the pot, one in the mouth, one in the pot, one in the mouth. It was funny as anything. Tony Cunningham, how are you doing, mate? Thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. We're very good, thank you. We're very good. So it's the first live of the new year, and I'm hoping for a good year this year. I'm really hoping for a good year. Have you go see Marmande's steak, brandy. So I grew a variety called Brandywine Pink last year. It was a they don't go quite red, but they stay a pinkish color, and that was quite. It was okay. It wasn't brilliant. There was a couple of what the blight resistant varieties that I grew. I grew a couple of blight resistant varieties. Let me think of the name. What that I grew. I can't think of the name, but they weren't blight resistant, and they weren't anywhere near to what they were. Just pathetic with the productivity as well. So they're going out the window this year. So I've still got a few tomatoes in the conservatory. They're still green, but getting to the point where I might be able to take them off and leave them to ripen next to a banana. Just put a couple of bananas, banana skins around the bottom of the tomato plant. The chemicals will sort of vaporize off, and the leaves will hold on to it anyway. Because if they're in your greenhouse, there's no point picking them up. You can just ripen them on the vine if the plant's good enough. I made tomato salsa with my own ripe tomatoes. Anyone got suggestions for new potatoes for best flavor? Red Duke of York is probably my favorite early potato. I've tried Rocket. They're okay. I've tried Rooster. They're okay. But Red Duke of York are by far my favorite of all the earlies. Same with like main crop. Desiree is just another one that you just can't beat. It's an old potato. It's not one of the newer varieties, but it's absolutely solid. It's a good one. What's the pink and it's not King Edward, but there was a newer pink and purple one, pink and white one. Sorry, that's an early. The name's not coming to my mind, but Red Duke of York are absolutely beautiful. We're supposed to have been moved last year, but we're determined to get moved this year. I hope you get moved soon and away from the nasty neighbours as well. Sean, you take care. Glad to have you on. Yeah, really enjoyed it. I'm going to try parsnips for the first time this year. Fingers crossed. Heather, good luck. They're slow to germinate. I mean, some of the guys in the UK, what they do is they germinate the seeds on a damp cloth or a damp tissue, and then they transplant them. But I'm not a fan of parsnips, so I just don't grow them. Yeah, I don't like the taste of them, so we don't grow them at all. Just joined Surrey late, was settling my son, who was upset about having to come out of the bath. Oh yeah, see, little Zacky's like that as well. Do you know, once he's in the bath, he can comfortably spend an hour in there without any trouble. So just got me Naga seeds, got me Naga chili seeds going to get them in the grow tent soon. Just need to get them going. Tony, have you seen the method that I use on soaking them? If they're dry seeds, then try soaking them in tea before you grow them. Yeah, I sowed this morning. I sowed some yellow Naga seeds. Some of the Naga that I've saved from my own plant. Some red ones that I saved from my own plant, and some more Dorset Naga as well this morning. So I'm looking forward to them. What other Naga varieties I've got this year? I've got yellow Naga, I've got red Naga, I've got the Dorset Naga. That's 3. But I've got two other varieties of Naga alone. So yeah, I like them. I'm trying pak choy. Sow the seeds this week. Wendy, pak choy is a brilliant veg for this time of year. It'll do really well up until it starts getting warm. once it gets warm, it'll start bolting. So if you grow them inside, sow them inside your house now, and if you've got a greenhouse, they'll grow really well in the greenhouse. See, I've got pak choi overwintered from last year, so we sowed them late on last year, got them overwintered, got them planted into the ground, and I've got some. It's not what's the plant called? Mabuna. That's a really good one as well. Has anyone got any ideas for growing loofah? I've failed to get them to grow here in Leeds for a few years in a row. Any tips? Even that tip be see. Early sowing's the key. With loofahs, early sowing's the key, and they need that warmth. But you did quite well with your snake gourds last year. So whatever you did, I mean, you did really well with your snake gourds. I saw the pictures; they were really impressive. So whatever you did with snake gourds, the same thing needs to be done with a loofah gourd. Are you growing them for eating? Are you growing them for the loofah itself? Dean's back. Dean's back. We were talking about you earlier. I can't remember what we were saying, but we were definitely talking about you. Oh, Sungold tomatoes. Do you know when your mum told us to pick the tomatoes for it, and I was just eating them all. My son put the most delicious alien a few years ago. We have no idea what they are. Oh, Susie, that's a shame. Bobby, I tried growing loofah a few years ago, no joy, but I've seen people successfully growing it in greenhouses in the UK. Where'd you get loofah seeds? Stormwalker. You can get them. Do you know if anyone wants loofah type seeds, bottle gourds, a lot of the Asian grocery stores sell them. So if you find a Bengali grocery shop, do you know the ones that sell fruit and veg, those kind of things, go into one of those shops, and they normally sell them behind. You know, they normally have them hidden behind the counter. They don't have them on display. They have them hidden behind the counter. You just ask them if they sell seeds, and you'll see them pull out a stash from behind the counter. Yeah, a lot of those, they're really good places to get them. Otherwise, it's online, and then unless it's somewhere reputable, it's always a hit and miss. I'll be sowing giant carrot parsnips in the week. Need to check my sowing dates. See, when you're going to sow your giant kohlrabi and your giant beetroot, because they're ones I want to try. You know, Mr. Ratty's taken all my seeds. I found some of your the giant gourds that you gave me. I found some of those seeds this week. So we're going through all our seeds. We found because you gave us quite a few giant gourd seeds, so we found them, and my mum's told me to sow them. So they're going in this year. But I can't remember if you gave me them last year or the year before. But yeah, it was definitely a while back. I've grown loofah here, and my climate is very different, but I think the seeds should be started early to give them a chance. Use the unripe loofah and cook it. See, we eat the loofah broads. I really enjoy them. Well, mine grew as big as my finger. Got my first greenhouse this year. Oh, congratulations! You know, greenhouses are really are a great game changer. That greenhouse in the ground, and you start growing in that, it really is a great game changer. I'm hoping to build my man cave this year, and what I'm aiming for is half man cave, half greenhouse. Yeah, something like that. But I need to get that man cave strong enough, because I want to get a heavy bag hung up in there as well, so I can work out a little bit. Do you have any suggestions for a cold hardy citrus variety? So I don't. Uncle Tupello's nephew. I don't have a suggestion for a variety, but without growing them in something like a conservatory, I think you would struggle. I've got a couple of lemon seeds, but I'm growing them more for the plant, rather than growing them for ever hoping of lemons, because my village in Bangladesh, we brought some lemons. We got some seeds from the lemons there, and those trees are trees that my uncle planted years and years ago. And the lemons are like they're like little rugby balls. They're absolutely huge. So I've planted them here, but I just grow them for the plant rather than anything else, just so I can have that sentimental value. I've done the same thing. I've got some bamboo, Bambusa gigantimo, it's called, or gigantica. And they're the really big construction type bamboos. They grow to about that sort of circumference, and they use them for scaffolding over in Asia. I've got some of that growing in the garden or in my house, but the bamboo that I've got growing in my house is thinner than my finger. But it is that variety, is what I'm saying. But I grow it just so that sentimental value more than anything else. You're going them for the lure itself. Okay. So you whatever you did with your snake gourd, because you had brilliant success with your snake gourd. You've got the skill. You just need a good year now. Oh, Mr. Rattle. See, I'll find them. Mr. Rattle's probably moved them from one place to another. So Alan Taggart from Northern Ireland, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Ian Matthews has come over from the other side of the Pennines. Hope you're keeping well, boss. My local sowing dates for carrots are February. Zaman Organic Veg and More. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. Let's see. Stonewalker Just Seed on eBay seem to have a good few. Okay, Just Seed on eBay. I've not seen their shop before, but are they quite reputable, Bobby? I bought my seeds from Chilton Seeds, which are good company. The seeds were good, but the weather wasn't on my side. I think I didn't give it the right care as I hadn't grown. Early start's really important. Ian, that's the variety. Crimson Crush. That's the one that's supposed to be blight resistant. Really poor. Really poor. Yeah, it was really poor cropper. And it got blight anyway. I see the kids have left you. Ian, today I think they're on the best behavior. It's either that or Harry Potter's keeping them entertained. But when they came up before Christmas, it was just absolutely mental in here, absolutely nutty. I'll see you soon. Thanks very much for coming in. You're very welcome. Yeah, we're back live again next Saturday, so if you want to join us then, we're here. We'll be regularly keeping these going now. Char was so nice. When I at the Naga, I'll get sweating on my face. Yeah, yeah, the Naga's hot, isn't it? Tahara Naturals, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Thank you very much for coming in. If you find another company, please do let us know. I bought them from Just Seeds before, but they're little to no germination. Any of them? Okay. I've not used that company before. I mean, my go-to are Premier Seeds and CK Horticulture. The eBay companies, there's a lot on there that just aren't reputable. So I don't know what Just Eat. I think food's on my mind. I'm online to keep myself from being impatient with the cure time for the PVC glue. What are you making? That sounds interesting. Then Naga had my eyes watering just from opening the lid. I'm still a little too chicken to try it. Come try it, honestly. You'll get used to it. During that first, it really gets you. But or try it in some food. Try it as an ingredient in something. And just build yourself up. If you make anything like spaghetti bolognese or something like that, just drop half a teaspoon in there, and it'll just give it a complete different. It'll give it a complete different story altogether. I've had some success with Just Seed. I got my first wasabi rocket seeds from them. Wasabi rocket. I've always used them alongside Premier Seeds. Wasabi rocket sounds interesting. Bobby, tell us about that plant. Question about growing chili seeds if I'm able to get them germinated, but I don't have heat lamps. Do you have any suggestions what I can do instead? Heat lamps? Do you mean heat lights? Okay, to get them germinated. So germinate if you don't have any heat mats or heated propagators to get them germinated. I used to use my go-to place was sticking the so sow them in pots and then stick them on top of the combi boiler. That was my go-to place. So if you stick them on top of combi boiler, stick them on top of the skybox or the cable box or around that sort of thing. Failing that, around your radiator. So don't put them on top of your radiator. You'll just warm them up too much. But around the bottom where the radiator pipes are, keep them there. That's another good place. Germination's a little bit slower and a little bit less controlled. It will happen. It will happen. Without the lights, you might want to wait a few weeks for before you start sowing them, because without lights, they can get a little bit leggy. You want short, strong plants at the early stage. Once it gets a little bit later on into the season, then you want them to bush out and spread up and grow up. But until we're into towards the end of March, you don't want them more than a couple of inches big. But you want short, strong plants. So yeah, but you can get if you've got a strip light anywhere, you can get cheap light bulbs from aquariums. They cost about £10-12 for a 3-foot light bulb. So if you can get a strip light and just fit a T5 light bulb into that's made for an aquarium, and just use that, that's another good option. Or you can just get a grow lamp and fit it inside a desk lamp. That's another cheap option that can get you a little bit of a head start. A grow lamp costs maybe £5 for a bulb. Just screw that, and it's just a normal bayonet fitting, the same thing that will fit into your normal desktop lamp. Just screw it into there. It's another cheap option, a cheap way of doing it. The plan is to put in something as a season. Yeah, see, that'd be a nice little trick to do it, just to get you warmed up for it. But try it. Honestly, you'll like it. I like how they're really great on postage costs and delivery time too. Yeah. I had that water line fixed in the chicken yard previous, or didn't put a shut off valve on that. So the shut off. Okay, so you've been doing some plumbing work. Okay. See, I'm always a bit scared when it comes to plumbing work, because you can think you've got it done and release. What I did not so long ago was I changed the taps, and I thought I'd got everything nice and tight. It looked fine. I ran the taps, everything looked fine. And then the day after, you notice a little bit of water on the floorboards and little water seeping through the ceiling, and then you realize, okay, it's not quite as tight as you thought it was. So I don't like messing about with water. Wood and sticking, hitting things with a hammer. I'm quite good at that. I draped some cloth around my grow light to keep the drafts away. No heat mats here. See, Heather, I use heat mats to get my seeds germinated, but then I did a video on the way I set my grow light, a grow cupboard up. So it's just a little cupboard that my wife uses for her shoes and stuff. So I get for a few months of the year, I hijack that from her and just line it with tin foil, and then just have a grow light across the top and everything in there. Time for bed for me. I'm old before. Dean, go and have a early night and get yourself some rest, and hope the kids and everyone get better soon, and you guys get a bit of a break, because it's not been easy for you. I can imagine. I'm weary of doing inside plumbing. See, that's the thing that's the thing that scares me, because you can always end up with just think you've done it, and then it always ends up just causing a mess. Do you know, one of my friends is an electrician, right? And when I was working on my sister's house next door, he came out and said, right, okay, I can't start your job until Friday, but if you want to do a little bit of prep work for me, that'll be good. And he said, okay, do you like the electric cable runs down this? He showed me where the electric cable runs, and said, just try and etch out, some of the plaster. So what do? I take a club hammer and a big block splitter up against the wall, bang. Next thing I know, there's this massive flash. The spark was so strong it took a chunk out of the block splitter, and the block splitter is made out of really strong steel. Luckily, it didn't ricochet back and hit me in the face or anything. But what it did do is it singed all my eyebrows, singed my beard. Yeah, I smelled like burnt chicken for the rest of the week. So that's another one that I don't like messing with. Electricity and water, I don't like messing with them. But give me some wood and I'll have a go at that. I haven't got a problem with that. Yeah, no problem at all. So if anyone hasn't hit that like for me, guys, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like, I've really enjoyed today. It's been good. It's the first time we've done a live. It's been about 3 weeks since the last one, because we had 2 weeks because of Christmas and New Year, and so it's been a good break as well for us. But I've missed you guys. I've missed talking to you, because when I come on here, it's like talking to my people. Talking to the people who like gardening, and it's when I just, it's a bit of talking to like-minded people. I do love it. I really do. You have to be super. Thing is, he talks about. He said just etch it out, like it was nothing. So I did that, and yeah, I caused a massive bang, and I got really scared. But when I told him about it, he's like, "Yeah, that happens if you cut a wire." Like, yeah, you should have told me that. You should have just told me to etch it out. You nutter. Oh man. But so hopefully have an update for you in the next couple of days or so on what the garden looks like and what it's going to be, because it's just going to be, for me, it's going to be like a blank canvas start of the year video on this is the state of the garden and this is what I want to do with it. My big plans this year is getting my man cave built, and hopefully when the weather starts warming up, I'm going to get working on that. There's a few ideas that I've been playing with. Heather, you take care. Thanks for joining us. It's been a while since I've had a good chat with you, and I'll see you soon. So one of the things I was having a play with was I was thinking about having a go at rammed earth. If I can get some, if rammed earth, but you need a good amount of soil. I was thinking about extending the pond as well. So if I extend the pond, then I can use the soil from that to build the rammed earth walls. But let's see. Because if I can get the man cave built, then I've got somewhere to hide from everyone, and I've got somewhere. Because what I'll do in there is I'll definitely put a rocket stove in there, and a rocket mass heater. And if I get the rocket mass heater up, then I've effectively got a heated greenhouse. Because I've got some really nice double glazing units. So just the glass from double glazing units that I can put in there and make some really, a really good greenhouse. And I used to teach basic circuitry to kids, but leave the big stuff alone. So, things that, I mean, in school they taught us how to change a plug socket, how to change a plug, how to wire a few wires together to get with a battery to get a light bulb going. They taught us stuff like that, but yeah, I've never really done electrics, and is one of those things that's proper terrifies me. So, guys, there we've hit the hour mark. I'm gonna call it a night there and go and see the kids, have some dinner with them before we put them to bed. So I'm gonna leave it there. Thanks everyone for joining us. We've got 39 likes. If anyone hasn't hit that like, let's get it to 40. That'd be good. But yeah, it's been a really good night. I really enjoyed talking to you all, and we'll see you again 8 o'clock next week. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.